What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. What's going on in Congress, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and what's going on with your money that you need to know about here. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Also, in this video, we're going to go over 41 different states and cities that are giving out money to their residents here in the form of monthly checks and thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars that we'll go over in this video. So there's a lot of money up for grabs that we'll go over in this video. So make sure to watch all the way to the end of this video. First up, Congress has a bipartisan agreement with Republicans and Democrats to potentially change the election laws to prevent candidates from stealing elections. Yeah, you can probably guess why they're doing this, but this is Republican and Democrats coming together in the Senate. This is a bipartisan group. Here are the details. Check this out.
We also have some breaking news. I want to bring in NBC senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor, who has new reporting on an effort on new legislation to help future vice presidents avoid the pressure campaign Mike Pence experienced in 2020. Sahil, what's the latest there?
That's right, Chris. Just in the last few minutes, we can report that a bipartisan group of senators has released two bills that would attempt to prevent future candidates for president from stealing elections. This is largely in response to the 2020 election when former President Trump and his allies tried to exploit gaps in the election law to stay in power, even though he lost that election. What does this bill do, or rather these two bills, since it's broken up? It would make abundantly clear that the vice president's role is simply ministerial, that he or she does not have any unilateral authority to reject electors submitted by states. It would also raise the threshold for objecting to electors from what it is now, which is simply one member of the House, one member of the Senate. Very easy to achieve, to 1/5 of both chambers. Remember, Trump did not have those kinds of majorities, especially in the Senate. That would not, his attempt would not have been successful if this bill were law. In addition, it clarifies the Presidential Transition Act from the 1960s to make clear that in cases of closer contested elections, both candidates have resources to aid the transition. It would also address the issue of alternate slates of electors by making clear that it is the governor of the state, unless explicitly and previously identified by the state, who has the authority of submitting the electors, and it creates an expedited process if an aggrieved candidate chooses to challenge those electors. Beyond that, there are some provisions in here doubling penalties for intimidating or harassing election workers, poll workers, and that sort of thing. It's a major effort crafted by more than a dozen senators, Republican and Democrat. It has been blessed by party leadership, including Chuck Schumer, the Democratic Majority Leader, and Mitch McConnell, the Republican Minority Leader, who said yesterday he has been in regular touch with Senator Susan Collins, the lead Republican on this proposal, is sympathetic to what she's trying to achieve. Finally, Chris, I'll note, one thing these bills do not do is address the issue of voting rights. That has become a partisan issue that Republicans don't want to deal with at the federal level. This is all about preventing stolen elections and preventing coup attempts in the future.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments section, and this is for going forward here, so that going forward, when we have the electoral votes counted and certified by each state going forward, that those results will stand. And because going forward with elections going forward, years and years going forward, when each state certifies its own results, we want those results to stand, and for presidents and nominees to accept the results and everything to move forward in an orderly fashion. Let me know your thoughts here. Yeah, next up, Congresswoman AOC, who was actually just arrested in a protest for abortion, along with 16 other Democrats in front of the Supreme Court. And she has no shame in it. She says they were there protesting, and they got to do what they got to do for women's rights. And you can let me know your thoughts here on that. AOC says in the latest swipe at fellow Democrat Senator Joe Manchin. She says that Joe Manchin has, quote, no authority to speak on climate change. Here's what she says. Now, remember, Joe Manchin is actually the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Chairman. He's gotten a lot of criticism on this. You can see his picture there. The note that he is part owner in a coal mine in West Virginia, the last of its kind in West Virginia. All the other ones have been shut down as he's made millions and millions and millions of dollars on his Gob coal mine. Yet all the other ones have been shut down because they're very, very dirty type of coal, for lack of a better word here. This comes after Manchin said last week that he would not support an economic package that includes new climate change spending or tax increases to finance the legislation because it could potentially put his coal mine out of business. Manchin has paused all action for the United States to act on climate change for the last 4 years, AOC says. Quote, so I don't think he has any authority to speak on climate for the rest of our term here. Joe Manchin has 2 more years left in his term. President Biden will deliver remarks on Wednesday afternoon on tackling the climate crisis. He has been reportedly considering declaring a national climate emergency, which would pave the way for executive action, executive orders on the issue. Quote, declaring a national emergency provides the president broad authorizations to act on climate. I think it's an essential step. And we also need to hear what he plans to do with that. When Joe Manchin was asked about what he thought about Biden's possible climate emergency declaration, Joe Manchin responded with, don't ask a question. I'm not talking about it. So apparently Joe Manchin wasn't very happy that the president may take action to undermine Joe Manchin. I guess Joe Manchin thinks that he's the president. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts here. Next up, as you can see here, stimulus check updates. There's 41 cities and states that are offering universal basic income, direct payments, checks, deposits, money up to $18,000 over 2 years. And I'm going to list them. I'm going to show you them. There's going to be a lot of different states here. If you know anybody or you or anybody you know of that might qualify this for this, share this video with them. And here we go. We're going to go through these. Okay, number 1, Alaska. Alaska has been giving its citizens checks under the Alaska Permanent Fund. This fund was designed to provide citizens with a portion of its state oil revenues. I wish every state would do that, don't you? That would be nice, right? As a kind of a stimulus check coming back here from what the state profits, right? That would be nice. It pays out annual dividends to citizens of the state. To qualify, you must be an Alaskan resident for at least 1 year, but you're not eligible if you've been convicted of state felonies or jailed. This year, Alaskans will receive $2,550 payment from Alaska's Permanent Fund. They're also having an additional stimulus check in there as well, which is like, I don't know, it's $600 and some dollars, something like that. It comes to a total of $3,200 in there for, I believe, the total for Alaska. Alexandria, Virginia. The Alexandria Guaranteed Income Pilot is giving 150 participants $500 a month for 2 years. It runs through December 2023. Arizona. Struggling families in Arizona are receiving $1,000 debit cards for 1 year. To be eligible, a family of 4's earnings cannot exceed 80% of the median income for the area, which is $63,000. If any of these programs you want to look into, just Google them, go to Google and look them up. For example, if it doesn't mention the program name in any of these, just Google something like Arizona $1,000 debit cards, and it'll probably come up if it doesn't mention the program name. Atlanta, at least 650 Black women in Atlanta, Georgia, are receiving monthly $850 payments over the next 2 years through the Georgia Resilience and Opportunity Fund. It's available in Atlanta's historic Old Fourth Ward, but will be expanding to at least 2 extra sites in Southwest Georgia and Metro Atlanta suburb also. Birmingham, Alabama is paying single mothers guaranteed income. A total of 110 mothers are receiving $375 a month for a year. A lot of these programs start off small with universal basic income, and then they expand more as they get more funding going forward. So keep that in mind. Cambridge, the city right next to Boston, is offering guaranteed income to 120 people. They're receiving $500 a month for 18 months. Chelsea, Massachusetts, 2,000 residents are receiving a monthly stipend ranging from $200 a month to $400 a month, no strings attached. Chicago, 5,000 low-income people will be receiving $500 per month for 1 year as a part of Chicago's Resilient Communities Pilots program. Started in July. They said it's the largest guaranteed income program in the country. As you can see, a lot of these, there's starting to be a lot of these, right? And more are coming up here every month. Struggling dads in Columbia, South Carolina, can get recurring support under a city program. Last year, fathers in Columbia got debit cards worth $500. They will continue to get those payments for several more months. Compton, California, city-based guaranteed income program. At least 800 people are receiving $1,800 every 3 months for 2 years. Cook County Promise Guaranteed Income Pilot will provide $500 monthly payments to 3,250 county residents for 24 months. Durham, North Carolina launched its Excel pilot program, giving $600 per month payments for a year. Most of the funds come from a $700,000 pilot program that came from the Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey. Gainesville, Florida, at least 115 formerly incarcerated people will receive $1,000 for the first month, followed by $600 a month for 11 months, I guess, to help these people get back on their feet. Georgia, the state of Georgia has another guaranteed income program called IMPACT. Stands for Income Mobility Program for Atlanta Community Transformation. It aims to help 300 residents who are at least 18 years old live 200% below federal poverty line. Those who are accepted will get $500 per month guaranteed income during the 12-month period. Moms in Healdsburg, California, will be getting a taste of UBI, Universal Basic Income. The program, which is being worked on by the city and a nonprofit organization, aims to help those early in their motherhood that need to stay at home. This is because of the financial disadvantage new moms are faced with when they're forced to leave their job and the cost of childcare. There's a random lottery selection here that determines qualification, and we'll be getting $500 a month for 2 years. Hudson, New York, monthly cash $500 a month, 25 people, but it's for 5 years. Wow. Jackson, Mississippi, in the fall of 2018, they started the Magnolia Mothers Trust. It's $1,000 a month for 1 year. That was the initial pilot program, but now they have another one that was started in 2020. It's now in its 3rd round. So I guess, yeah, that's kind of an ongoing program. Long Beach, California has a program going on, $500 monthly payments for 1 year. Los Angeles has the Big Leap program. A total of 3,200 families will get $1,000 in monthly installments, $1,000 a month for a year. Eligible families that sit at or below the federal poverty line, which is $26,200 for a family of four. All that was for Los Angeles. Los Angeles also has another program called Breathe, which is a separate program. It's offering $1,000 a month to 1,000 randomly selected families in Los Angeles as well. Louisville, Kentucky will get $500 monthly payments. The program is called YA-LIFT, which stands for Young Adult Louisville Income for Transformation. The payments will go out to 150 young people between the ages of 18 and 24. You need to live in California, Russell, and Smoketown, one of the three neighborhoods. So I don't know if that's a neighborhood, California. Yeah, it is, because this is in Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know, it's a little strange there. Lynn, Massachusetts, a small group of participants are benefiting from monthly income. 15 moms receiving $400 for a child's first 3 years. It's just sponsored by a small program there. Marin County, California has its own guaranteed income program for 2 years. 125 women raised at least one child will receive $1,000 per month. Minnesota, the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota, chose some families to receive $500 every month for 2 years. Mountain View City Council just approved a pilot program to give some people $500 per month. That it cost $1 million. They also authorized an additional $580,000. To be eligible, you must live in Mountain View, California, and have one child under the age of 18. Newark, New Jersey is expanding its guaranteed income pilot program, payments totaling $12,000 over 2 years. Half of those in the program will get $250 on a bi-weekly basis. The remaining 50% will get 2 payments of $3,000 each year. New Orleans, teens in New Orleans are getting $350 in monthly payments as part of the state's financial literacy program. It started in May 2022 and will last for 10 months. New York City guaranteed income program is focused solely on New York City mothers. The Bridge Project expanded to its second phase in the spring. Will be $1,000 a month for 100 low-income mothers. New York State, not many groups have suffered like high unemployment quite like artists. New York State has a program called Creative Rebuild New York, CRNY, that was launched by the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, which supports art and humanities. They provided $125 million in relief to artists. 2,400 artists in New York State will get $1,000 payments over 18 months. Additionally, they will offer 300 employment opportunities to artists for 2 years, which will pay $65,000 annually. Oakland, California, 600 families are benefiting from the gift of cash, which was $500 for 18 months, and now an additional 300 families. Patterson, New Jersey, this one's soon winding down, $400 a month for families. Philadelphia is kicked off a guaranteed income pilot program in March, monthly payments of $500 a month. And this is from the TANF program. Providence, Rhode Island, 110 people receiving guaranteed income programs, $500 a month. Richmond is another small program that was $500 a month as well. Rochester, New York is still in its exploratory stages for a guaranteed income program. The program aims to provide $500 payments to low-income families for the first 12 months and is set to expand. Santa Fe, New Mexico has the Learn, Earn, Achieve program for young parents of $400 a month. Shreveport, Louisiana has started receiving 110 $660 monthly payments for a year. South San Francisco, 150 low-income families are receiving $500 checks every month for a year. Tacoma, Washington, $500 a month for 1 year. Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser announcing a $1.5 million UBI program for new parents in the area. Strong Future DC program will provide $900 per month for 1 year for expectant mothers in Ward 5, 7, and 8. West Hollywood Guaranteed Income Program in West Hollywood, California is small but targeted, but it's still offering people an opportunity to receive money. For West Hollywood residents age 50 and above will receive $1,000 for 18 months. Yeah, so these type of programs are popping up all the time, all over the country, as you can see here. They're called UBI, Universal Basic Income, or sometimes Guaranteed Income. And I will keep you up to date here with those. And state stimulus checks, tax rebate checks, property tax rebate checks, mortgage assistance, rental assistance, and SNAP assistance, food assistance, everything pretty much going on here that you need to know about here. So make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live, and I'll let you know everything that you need to know about here. You can click here to see the 20 states that are sending out stimulus checks here and are already approved. There's even more coming here soon. And here's my newest video on SNAP benefits, pandemic EBT benefits, and food assistance that just came out here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.